Dink, dink. So great.
Dink, dink,
Incredible
dink, dink.
start. Dink, dink.
No, you need to start like
No, we're not whispering. We're doing ASMR. Yeah.
Welcome to the Jenna and Julien
Relax cast.
Relax Cast.
Okay, let's introduce that before we just have it. Don't raise the volume.
I locked my phone to shut it off and it just stopped playing. It usually doesn't do that. It usually has like background play.
I changed the setting when you weren't looking.
What, you did?
No.
Why would you do that?
That would be impossible. How would I do that?
I don't know why.
Oh, to why?
Autor, please.
Welcome back, guys, to the Jenna Julien Podcast, where this week we are going to talk about what we like to do to relax. Right, babe?
Yeah, well, we need a relax cast because my aunt's stressed. He had some stress anxiety dreams.
And we'll get to all that.
How's that going, by the way?
Well, it's going well.
You can tell us more about it, but...
No, it's going... I mean, I have food and NatureBox to help me get through these times.
Oh, my God.
And right now, you guys can have NatureBox, too. So, check it out. They got hundreds of awesome... over 100 snacks that taste great and are actually better for you than most of the snacks that you're probably eating right now. Simple ingredients, quality ingredients, no artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners right now. You get 3 free snacks with your first order and you go to naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. That's naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. Also, stop losing your keys, stop losing your wallet, stop losing your important things with Tracker. Tracker Pixel is Tracker's new tiny little tracker device that you put on your things that you lose. You put it on anything like your keys or your backpacks or your dog or your drone or your cat.
Your outdoor cat, like my dad.
And it will alert you when you track it down with your phone. It connects to the Tracker app and it can play a 90 decibel alert sound that will help you find your lost item in seconds. It is an amazing device. I've used it a lot, and they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So right now you can try it by going to the Tracker. That's TheTrackr.com. Promo code Jenna Julien. Get 20% off any order. Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you, sponsor. Well, yeah. So we decided to move the candles in here. Can I see the candle, guys? We got candles.
Oh yeah, they can't see it.
I'm wearing my pajama shorts. And my glasses.
Cute shorts.
Rule number 1 of relaxing is that you can't have your contact lenses in for me.
That's true. That's true. And for me, it's like put glasses on because I'm likely watching a screen.
Really?
Yeah. Like I wear glasses at night when I'm watching TV or playing games or on my computer.
But we needed to relax. Julian's leaving for last minute trips tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. By the time you guys are watching this, we'll be on our way back already.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
I know, right?
It's also crazy to think about that we're going again because it never feels like a full month has passed.
I know.
Right?
It's so funny because this room is the room that we game in, that we podcast in, and those of you that watch the live stream, they throw the dart in this room. Like, your map is right here.
It's right
and
there.
like, how cool is it going to be to watch like that map continue to fill up with little pins?
Really cool. Is
there somewhere that you're hoping to go? Because don't let Julien fool you. I feel like you guys like have hopes, like you places that you're hoping to go.
So yeah, I mean, I think subconsciously we both have built up, images of what certain places might have or these fake fantasies or whatever.
To be fair, though, you're a human being and you're throwing a dart at a map and you're going to go where it lands. But, like, I would prefer the dart to land in certain places over other places.
Yeah, the difference between me and Colin is we both hope for certain things. He just can't aim a dart at all. Blindfolded or not, he, sucks. He aims for Hawaii every time and he hit, Kansas last time.
Wait, so where would you have to hit it in order to hit Hawaii? Down in the bottom there?
Yeah, right?
Because it's a little inset in a box.
Yeah, it's in the box. Yeah.
Wait, so when you guys can't see the map.
So when he was going for Point Washington.
When you went to Point Washington, Florida,
he was trying to
just
hit
below
Hawaii.
that is a box that shows a picture of Hawaii. Is that where you'd have to throw the dart in order to go to Hawaii?
Yeah, he's going to try to aim at Hawaii again, and we're going to be stuck going to Florida again. He's the reason we were there, I think. I think, or maybe that was my dart.
Are
I
you
can't
guys
remember.
still doing it blindfolded?
Yeah, we're doing it blindfolded. The Dink fam actually got us blindfolds, like off school last minute trip blindfolds.
Is this the first trip that you guys are going to be using your custom darts?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
They're sitting right up top there. Someone got us, actually not someone, Sarah Torella.
Yeah, the Dink fam.
And a whole group of Dinks.
Pulled together
And got us these awesome. I'm just going to fucking get them right now.
Go get them, Julien. That's so rad. I literally was like crying when she gave us those.
This is it, the last minute trip
Gave
start.
you, but
Gave it to us at our
Marissa
meet
gave
and
me a
greet.
bracelet.
And it has our initials engraved. And it says last minute trips on
and
the
there's
dart.
like a dart case and everything.
There's a whole dart kit. It's so high quality.
Have
and
you
cool.
thrown them yet?
No. I'm not gonna throw them until it's time. These
No,
are
I mean just to make sure that they dart.
Oh, well, they stick in the board. I tested that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Wait, is there anywhere that you're hoping to go? What about Rochester, New York?
I'd like to go to the Northeast.
Rochester, New York.
I'd like to spend some time in the Northeast.
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful time of year.
I mean, I've never, ever really spent, aside from like New York and Boston. Oh,
There's a fly.
I'm
No,
unrelaxed.
Julien, no.
I'm unrelaxed.
Julien, no. It's the relaxed cast. Julien, no.
Okay.
No. Take a deep breath.
Guys, right now you can get this really soft shirt at YouTube.com. It's a super relaxing shirt. There's only a few left, so get them while they're hot. What? Sorry.
No.
Okay, sorry.
How did you go from being so triggered by a fly to like telling people to get a Wafsicle shirt?
Because the fly reminded me that these shirts are flying off the shelves.
Oh my! Are they selling like a God church?
They're selling well. I just want to let people know before
Like
they sell
a
out.
God church.
Yeah. So I'd like to see some trees. I'd like to, I don't know, just go to the Northeast. But then again,
Rochester.
I want to go to Rochester with you. I don't want to go by myself.
That would be hysterical.
If I went there without you?
Yeah. Or
You
if
still haven't
if you
taken me to your
landed on
hometown.
some part in upstate New York, like you had to go to like Binghamton or something. It's like tight, dude.
I would really like to go there with you.
If you went with me, I would take you to Rochester, but then I would drive down to like Watkins Glen and stuff. It's amazing there.
Anywhere in that whole East Coast region. Like I'd love to, I've never been anywhere around there. Like
You were saying you wanted to go to Vermont.
Vermont, like North Carolina. Well, I've been in North Carolina with you.
Yeah.
Tennessee I went to. Kentucky I've never been to.
I've been to every state up there. Every single one.
Virginia
of
never
them.
been to. I went to Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina. I don't think I've ever been to. There's just a lot that I haven't seen out there. I mean, I would be down for anywhere. To
I
be
got
honest.
arrested in New Hampshire.
Yeah, no. I think you told
tight
that story
there.
in the podcast, right?
Hell yeah.
Marble, shut up. Though,
Welcome to Relax, guys.
so
The
relaxing.
sound of a tiny dog barking.
I do want to touch on the thing that you brought up, which is the stress and the stuff that I've been dealing with, which is like, I first want to say that like a lot of you guys, when I vlogged about it, which was just, you know, sometimes I get more open on the vlogs than others, right? Like sometimes you just feel like you need to talk a little bit and you have nothing to give but like your honest life. And this week I talked about the stress and the anxiety that I've been having while I sleep. And so I have this recurring thing where I wake up and I think I'm still streaming live on Twitch and I get really nervous and I get anxiety and I'm convinced it's happening. It's not like a dream. It just feels really real and it's recurring. It's every single night. And I don't think it's because I'm streaming on Twitch. I don't think it's because of one thing or another thing. I think it's just because my routine isn't really giving me enough time to like
Wind down.
Yeah. and just chill. But I do want to say thank you to all of you guys who have been so kind and supportive and, you know, outreaching to me on the internet ever since I posted that. I'm fine. I'm good. We'll deal with it. You know, it's just one of those things. It's a learning experience and I don't feel like I'm burning out because I know what that feels like. I've done that before. I don't feel like I'm burning out. I just feel a little bit of stress.
Yeah, but you do have a lot on your plate, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know I say this all the time, but like, I'm a fucking Virgo, okay? And I can't just throw a dart at a map and fucking go there, okay? Because I'm gonna freak out the whole time because I need to make a plan first, you know? So just the fact that, you know, you've been feeling that level of stress with, you know, a lot of things going on and then you're leaving in the morning to who knows where. Like, that's a lot for right now, you know?
Yeah. It is.
And it takes a lot of prep. Like, you guys don't see all the prep that you guys do beforehand to get ready for that trip. So it's a lot.
Yeah. And honestly, I love it. we're on episode 5, and I've had such a great time. This has been the ride of a lifetime, and we're only getting started, which is so exciting. Like, I regret nothing. I'm so happy that we started this. I'm so happy that you guys support it. But yeah, throwing a dart at a map can be a little bit stressful sometimes.
I get stressed.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes I'm just like, fuck that. I'm sleeping through your dart throw. Let me know where you guys are going.
So you don't have to deal with any of the stress.
Yeah, exactly. Or the secondhand stress. Or I'll wake up and then you'll text me like, all right, I send a Postmate. Just get the camera because we forgot it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But I wanted to talk about some things that were relaxing and we can relax.
Can I go quiet?
Yeah, or you can bring Bobble Goose in here. Get that little Bobble Goose. Ooh, Julian's wearing his MeUndies jogging pants, the like really soft ones, and I just saw the bot when he walked out here. Oh my God. I hope that Julian and Colin throw the dart at Los Angeles, California, and have to stay. I don't want him to leave. What?
I just tried to pick him up and he did a handstand.
Marble did?
Yeah.
Marble, are you having a rough time, buddy, being noisy?
Your dog ever do that when you try to pick them up? They lean a certain way to try to like get away or go into you, and then
Chihuahuas do that. Look at Chihuahuas do that a lot though because they're like kind of top heavy.
Yeah.
Like you ever seen Chihuahua? There's videos of them like when they're peeing and it's cold outside and they'll do a handstand, or like when they're eating they'll do a handstand.
Yeah.
And puppies do it too.
I have seen that.
Marble, honey, was he barking at Dad?
I don't know. He was on the floor looking naughty as hell.
Marble, you barking at Dad? He's just trying
babe,
to get some water and food.
What relaxes you?
Okay, so I want to talk about this.
I've been hearing this sound a lot lately.
Hell yeah. Listen, it goes, oh, hell yeah. So, I used to listen to a lot of, like, guided meditations. Like, when I was a kid, I had this cassette tape that my grandma gave me, actually, that was called, like, Guardian Angels or something. And it was this really, like, nice sounding, like, rain and quiet stuff. And then a woman talking you through, like, you meet your guardian angel and you, like, slide down a rainbow together and, like, hold hands. And it's, like, really cute. And she just gave it to me. My grandma was a little eclectic. She was, you know, a lot. But she gave it to me, and I think my mom was like, oh, it's another weird thing that grandma gave you, whatever. But I wound up, like, loving it, and I listened to it every single night. So I've been listening to, like, that kind of thing. More like guided meditations at night for a long time, like, since I was a kid. But I recently got into, and if you go on YouTube is the best fucking place in the world, and I'm obsessed with it every single day.
Because
like,
everything exists.
Yeah, I just, like, I fall in love with YouTube, like, over and over and over and over and over. And even when we talked about this on podcasts where, you know, we're mad at YouTube and people are like, well, if you guys are so upset with the platform and what's going on, why don't you just leave it and do something else? And, like, the answer to that is because we're so mad because everybody loves YouTube so much.
And then we don't want it to be ruined.
Yeah, and we're fighting, and, you know, we're calling them out, we're holding them accountable, because if we don't do it, no one's going to do that. You know, the platform's going to turn into whatever it's going to turn into, whatever's going to make them the most money.
You got to fight for it because it's worth it.
We're fighting for what makes it great. But, like, anytime that everything I've ever learned in my adult life how to do has been from YouTube, and, like, it's just amazing. So, you know, I was, like, looking for some guided meditations because I was using an app a while back, but it wasn't, like, the greatest. And I started getting into, like, just the tones, or, like, just the frequencies. And Julian actually got me some sleep phones, because Julian listens...
Talking about sleep phones. Sleepphones.com.
Julian listens to this podcast called Sleep With Me.
The Sleep With Me podcast. I'll talk about that in a sec, but sleep phones are basically a headband with built-in, like, speaker headphones.
Yeah.
So you can sleep on them without them hurting your ears.
And it's really funny because that's one of their podcast sponsors. And Julian was like, I want to get some sleep phones. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's cute. So he gets them. And it's like the most adorable little headband. And he sleeps with it every night. And I got super jealous. And I was like, Julian, I want some fucking sleep phones. So he got me some. And I've been listening to, like, just the hertz like frequencies, and there's all different kinds. And then when you fall down that rabbit hole, there's ones of like decalcifying your pineal gland or like opening your third eye, which I've been trying to do for years. Not seriously. So I remember I like tweeted out one time like, oh, I'm sorry I can't come to your birthday party, I'm opening my third eye, which is like a half joke, but like I am genuinely interested in that stuff. And I got a bunch of like very serious tweets back like, oh, it's really not that hard, just some gentle meditation.
People just want to help you open your third eye.
I know, they really just want to help me.
So what happened the other night though? Tell us what happened the other night.
What do you mean?
Where you felt really emotional and you kissed me, remember? And you were listening.
Oh yeah. So I wasn't gonna say that, but that's really sweet.
Sorry. Do we not need to talk about it?
No. It's really sweet. So I was listening. There's all different kinds of frequencies.
Is it playing right now?
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a movie.
This one is 936 hertz, but like I just typed in the letters HZ frequency or sounds or whatever.
And you found that.
Yeah, and then there's just tons of stuff like healing your chakras, and you don't have to believe in any of this, or buy into any of it, but this is just like really nice, relaxing spa music, sort of. But like if you just sit and listen to it or fall asleep to it, because I'm the type of person, Julien was like, you should listen to the Sleep With Me podcast. It's really great. It helps you fall asleep. So I tried it and I really enjoyed it, but I can't listen to someone speaking any kind of words and fall asleep because I listen to the words.
Because it's like multitasking for you.
Yeah. It's like when I was one of those people that could never study and listen to music.
I couldn't
unless it was classical music.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
That's how you become a genius.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. But I'm saying I couldn't listen to something with like lyrics because then it jumbles my brain. Yeah, because I feel like I learn really well audio wise. Yeah. Like from hearing, I'm not like a super visual learner. Yeah. I'm like an audio learner, or like a rewriting it 10 billion times.
Yeah. Same here. And I not only could I not multitask, but I like really had to focus on tasks. Like reading, I really had to really focus, because if I was even the slightest bit out of it when I was reading, I'd have to read a page over like 5 different times.
Right.
So I know what you mean. Like, I was the same way.
Like, I like the Sleep With Me podcast. I feel like I could listen to that like an hour before bed and like wind down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just can't like take my mind off of someone's words. But for someone like you, like that really like makes you really sleepy.
Yeah. And you know what? I think so. I don't remember where. You know what's crazy is I have no clue where I heard of the Sleep With Me podcast.
I think you were just looking up a bunch of podcasts.
But like, I have this weird distinctive memory of someone telling me to listen to that podcast, and I have no clue what that was, which is so weird to me, because maybe I was searching. I don't know how I found it, but I looked one up on YouTube one night, and I think I was just like stressed out about stuff, and I was just like, I wasn't ready to go to sleep, but I wanted to go to sleep. So I like put it on and I like laid down, and for the first,
just a guy talking.
Yeah. So his name's Scooter, and he has this very interesting voice, and he talks in a way that is
like a lot of like vocal fry.
Yeah, it's like that exactly. But it's also like his cadence is nonstop, and he stumbles upon his words, but almost in like an intentional way.
Right.
He calls himself he intentionally mumbles. He's like,
right. So, but like the first half is sort of like a whatever. It's like nonsense, but then it really just goes into complete nonsense.
Yeah, it goes into complete nonsense. And what's crazy is like it actually put me to sleep, and I was not ready for that. I was just like, okay, I want to listen to this podcast, see what it's about, but then it put me to sleep. And then it kind of served as like this thing for me where no matter what was going on, say I was on the road, or because I have trouble sleeping in hotel rooms sometimes, or I was, without you.
We have trouble sleeping away from each other.
No, it's true. When I'm not with you, I don't sleep well. And not only do I not sleep well, I just have trouble going to sleep because I'm like I'm not, with my other half. And that was the big thing for me. Like when I was not with you and I needed to just like remove myself from that like anxiety or whatever, it's like that was perfect for me. And now I listen to it all the time.
Yeah. It's not like, I don't know. It definitely relaxes me. And like, I did fall asleep to it one night. I gave it like a good shot, but it's the fact that it just has words. I already know that my like brain doesn't shut off when I'm listening to someone talk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't know, but the sounds really make me fall asleep.
So the hertz, do you like know like what's behind how different hertz sound like do different things mentally.
Well, I mean, according to I'm not educated.
No, yeah, just from what you've read and whatever, yeah.
But it seems like some of them do different things, and I definitely prefer some of them over other ones. But what Julian was saying, what he was like, tell me what you said the other night. So like some of them definitely, I don't know, when I'm picking out one, like some of them will make you like feel something for me. They like make me feel something like in like my gut, or like just they like resonate with me.
Totally understand that.
So then I'll pick that one and I'll listen to it and I'll fall asleep. But so I was listening to one. Well, this one is like some fucking ocean sounds. Damn. I was listening to one and I started to get like really emotional. Like I was just like thinking, like, you know, I'm like drifting off into sleep, and, you know, your mind's like sort of just wandering, like you're not thinking, you know what I mean? And I started to just feel myself get really emotional, and I like felt like I was going to cry. And so I was like reading the comments in one of these videos, which by the way are completely hysterical usually. Like some of them are really, really like wonderful and sweet and thoughtful and amazing. But then there's other ones where it's like, do not listen, like extreme out of body experience, which I promise you I've listened to that. Like I did not have an out of body experience. Okay. I just went the fuck to sleep and it was amazing. But some of them are like so trolly and hysterical in the comments. I wish I could find some. It's going to take me too long to find any. But I was reading the comments and I found somebody else that said in there, like, I don't know why, after like, you know, half an hour of this, like I started to feel really emotional and crying. And someone was like, oh, don't worry, that's just your heart chakra opening up. Keep going. And I was like, ew, is my heart chakra opening up? Ew.
It's interesting how you can tap into certain things that you feel like are just, you know, inaccessible.
Right. So, like, I've been falling down this, like, Hertz relaxing hole or whatever. And coincidentally, I'm kidding, my favorite show, Ancient Aliens, just did an episode called Alien Frequency, where they realized that a bunch of those, like, giant megalithic structures or whatever all across the world, like, I forget, Teotihuacan and like Machu Picchu or like other places. Yeah. They found all resonated when they took a thing that measured hertz. I'm sorry, this is very not scientific. They all measured the same sound frequency.
Which leads to
you have to watch the episode because I'm not doing that explanation justice.
So what does that imply?
It was like 1100 hertz or something like that. That they were all like all these places across the world were all resonating with that frequency. And they even said that some of the structures, the way that they were built, were clearly used for sound. So like if you played a sound in one part of the room, it would bounce perfectly back and forth to make the entire space resonate at that frequency, which I thought was really fascinating because like it only takes me a little bit of listening to something like this to start actually feeling something inside of my body, you know what I mean? Like it makes me feel different. It like makes me feel good.
Every different hertz or just certain ones?
Different ones. Okay. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Some of them definitely make you feel different. Like the ones that are higher, like in number, like the 900 something hertz, the ones that are meant to activate your third eye, which by the way have some of these like bizarre clicking noises in them, which are very scary in the first place. We're not expecting them. It's like,
what is it?
It's decalcifying your third eye. Julian.
Oh.
But some of the higher ones, I feel like you feel them. I feel them like in my head more than in like my chest or body. The lower ones, I feel in my chest and body. But isn't that interesting? Like the idea of sacred sound.
So interesting.
I forget where I saw it. It was where was it? But they were showing that in Tibet or whatever, they have these wheels with just it was Ancient Aliens, I think. They have these just big, I hate my life. They have these wooden wheels with just words on them. And as the monks walk by, they spin the wheel because they feel like just having the word touch the air, like the air is alive. And just spinning it, the act of doing that puts the word into the air and into the universe. Like that's enough to get that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand
into the world.
Yeah, it's the whole this whole thing is very interesting. I mean, I would love to mess around and listen and see what happens with me.
I just love the idea that sound is sacred.
Yeah.
It makes so, like, perfect sense to me. Like, music does so much for so many people, and people find it therapeutic. There's, like, Reiki healing and that kind of thing, and music and sound that people find very healing and relaxing and calming.
There's a lot of power in sound, definitely.
So I feel like I'm sort of just, like, scratching the surface, but it's been really, really, really nice. So I put on my sleep phones and I listen to this, and I'm like, oh.
All right. Well, I guess.
I'm so sorry. This literally never happened.
Well, it's been a really long time since we had a technical difficulty like that. Our memory card corrupted while we were recording. And
even that first 30 minutes is a little pixelated, you said,
yeah,
right?
there's glitches that are going on. So you probably have seen glitches throughout the podcast.
Forgive us.
So we just recorded like an hour. And
we just had a really interesting conversation, though,
had a great conversation, and then realized that the red light wasn't on.
It was blinking.
The memory card broke.
We're so sorry.
So we're going to pick up the discussion here. It's obviously not going to be the same. We're going to try to just like...
But I also don't know exactly where we left off. Because,
yeah.
Oh, man, I'm really sorry, guys. I think we were talking about the Hertz frequencies and stuff.
Yeah, I think we were too. This broken episode of the Jenna Julien Podcast, guys, because now it's mid-roll. We're going to do sponsors. Is brought to you by Tracker Pixel. Sorry, guys.
So sorry.
That really sucked. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, yeah. Life is supposed to be a journey of discovery.
We're trying to relax.
The meaningful stuff, the relaxing stuff, not trying to find your keys. 8 years ago, Tracker changed everything when they released their first tracking device, and now they've done it again with the all-new Tracker Pixel. You never have to worry about losing your things again. Tracker Pixel is the lightest Bluetooth tracking device on the market. Just put your Tracker Pixel on whatever you tend to lose: your keys, your wallet, your dog, your cat, your phone, your drone, your backpack. And when you lose an item that has a Tracker Pixel attached, use your smartphone, and a 90 decibel alert will help you find it in seconds. It even has a powerful LED light so you can help find anything even in the dark. Last time I lost my phone, you guys saw it. I put it over there and I beeped it with the Tracker Pixel. And you can also find your phone with your Tracker Pixel, which is very cool. You can even find your item if it's miles away, because every Tracker user is part of the largest crowd network in the world. And Tracker's 30-day money-back guarantee means you'll truly have nothing to lose. Get it? Right now, go to The Tracker. That's TheTrackr.com. Promo code Jenna Julien to get 20% off any order. That's TheTrackr.com. Also, guys, and there was a sick transition, let me tell you, on this before.
It was fire.
NatureBox is also sponsoring us this week, guys. We all want to eat better, but when it comes to snacks, it's pretty damn hard. Trust me, I know. I snack pretty badly when I don't have NatureBox in the house. NatureBox.com has over 100 snacks that taste good and are actually better if you made from quality ingredients. And you'll feel better about what you're snacking on. I'm celiac and we're vegan, and there are plenty of snacks that we like. We have the Mesa Crisps and the Strawberry Lemonade Fruit Stars, which are amazing. It's so easy. You just go to naturebox.com, choose the snacks you want, and they'll deliver them right to your door with no risk. If you ever try a snack you don't like, don't eat it. NatureBox will replace it for free. Right now, NatureBox is giving 3 free snacks with your first order. Go to naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. That's naturebox.com/Jenna Julien. So how do we do this?
Man, I feel really bad. I'm really sorry, guys.
I feel bad too, but it's also like, I don't know what to do.
I think it's so funny that this happened where Julian's been stressed and having a lot of stress, and we're like, let's just do a nice relaxing podcast where we talk about relaxing, and the most stressful thing happens. And like, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, well, why don't you just like start it over and whatever? Like, we don't really have time to start it over.
We don't
have time. Oh,
but no, we were, what were we talking about? We talked about it.
We were talking about the Hertz frequency sounds, and I don't know how far we got into that, but that sound is sacred and it can heal you. And I talked about the monks with the words on those wooden wheels, and they walk by, and just the act of moving the word superimposes it into the air, because I think that air is alive. And the buildings, I watched an episode of the Ancient Aliens where they showed that a bunch of different megalithic structures and places all vibrate at the same frequency, which was really interesting. But then we started talking about, which I don't think if we left off on sounds, we were talking about how stress and the culture of distraction that millennials are in. And that in order to like maybe years ago in the past, when people wanted to shut off, it wasn't exactly a choice, because I remember even as a kid, like my biggest fear, like for the summer or something, when you have free time, was being bored.
Yeah.
Like that was a genuine fear for me.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to be like alone sitting doing nothing. That was like the worst thing in the world. I mean, now it's the best thing in the world. It's all I look forward to. It's the nothing.
Yeah.
But that we're constantly in this culture of distraction, and that I've actually sat with myself like a lot. I sit with this idea a lot of like, I post on the internet for a living. You post on the internet for a living, the podcast and our main channels and, whatever. Are we part of the problem? Are we adding any value to anything? Or are we just perpetuating the culture of distraction?
And that's like a discussion that there is no answer at the end of it.
Because we're all doing it.
We're all doing it. We're all on our phones. We're all consumed all the time with media on the internet. And especially when we're creators who are actively adding to that pool of distraction, I feel like that's just a crisis or a discussion or an inner monologue that you're going to have for as long as you're doing it.
Yeah.
And there's never going to be a clear answer. And it's one of those things where some days you'll feel like you're contributing positive things, and some days you'll feel like you're contributing to the problem. Mm-hmm. And it's just a wild thing. And like you always say, and I think this is a really good thing that you say, it resonated a long time ago when you first said it, but the internet has no rules really, because it's being paved as we speak, right? Like this whole movement online with the internet, with YouTube, with content and Twitter and instant feedback and this and that, there are no, like, you can't go to the history books and see how it's done, because it's all going on right as we speak. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's part of this discussion, where it's like, you may feel like you're doing something wrong, but there's really no way to fact check it.
Right.
I
know. I feel like the majority of the time that I've been on the internet, there was no like rule book. There's no way to do it. And, there's a lot of people in suits telling you what they think you should do, but it's all just sort of intuition based. And, I've been burned plenty of times doing things on the internet, but like you sort of just have to trust your gut and what you think. And I feel like I've always just come from a place of like, I want to make things because I want to make them, but I still sit with the idea of, am I perpetuating the culture of distraction? And then we talked about how even for millennials, like because we were talking about sounds and like sitting with your thoughts and, actually decompressing, actually de-stressing, by thinking through some of your problems or, coming to a solution for yourself. And instead we mask them with all of these distractions, but then your distractions become a new source of stress. We talked about Instagram specifically.
Yeah, the Instagram thing.
I'm not like the biggest fan of Instagram because I don't like the sheer complete level of superficiality that comes along with it, but that people are, developing all kinds of eating disorders and things from just being exposed to other people constantly showing their body perfection, or, it's just a very in your face vain sort of platform. And
in addition, I think I added something along the lines of, Instagram also really encourages this culture of comparing yourself to other people, no matter what
in a physical
the subject
sense.
is. Yeah. Physically, like you versus another person, or even just like success and wealth and anything you can really put on Instagram. You're by nature, you think you're just like flipping through and relaxing, but what you're doing is, you're comparing yourself to all these people without even realizing it. And that's terrible for you. That's like one of the worst habits you can have. And that's like growing up, I had to like really teach myself to like at least identify when I was doing that, because it was really fucking with my confidence and just my mentality.
It is really hard. I think that it's something too that never fully goes away, because, I follow a lot of people on a lot of different platforms. I follow anybody. I listen to anybody. I've been criticized in the past for doing that. People are like, I can't believe you follow this person, or you've read that, or you've done this, or like, I feel like I would like to absorb as much information and opinions from as many people as I can. And I don't need to align with them at all. I would just like to listen to what they have to say. But like, I follow a lot of different people who are, going through things that maybe I'm not going through, like a mother who gives birth. And, you see all these comments in there of people being like, wow, good for you. Or there's other people that are like body shaming, and like, it's just like a big mix of things. And I don't think that ever really goes away, that sense of comparing yourself. You see that with new moms a lot, where they're like,
mom shaming is so real.
And like, I don't personally identify with that, but I can see how as your life transitions, from being a kid to a young adult to an adult to a mother to a parent to a grandparent, like you're constantly comparing yourself to other people your age. It's just that you find a different level of peace, I think, at different stages. Yeah. Or if you never find a level of peace with comparing yourself, you're tortured through multiple stages of life.
Sometimes you don't even realize that you're tortured because you just think that's the way things are, because social media is so everywhere. You're just like, this is life.
Yeah. And a lot of it, I think is good motivation sometimes. Like I was definitely at a point in my life where in order to just feel even motivated for something, I needed to go, look at things that made me feel motivated. Like I understand that.
Yeah.
But then I also think it comes to a point where you're just beating yourself down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I think that happens. That has happened to me on certain occasions, even as like a YouTuber, where it's not like, going on Instagram and comparing like my body to another person's body, but it's more like going on YouTube and seeing my peers just by nature, the other creators out there who are doing this and that, and like without even realizing it, just like the surface interaction that you get from watching or even looking at thumbnails and titles, like it's doing things in your brain. It's like actually, it makes it so the next time you go to create, you like think about that and you recall that and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Now wait, should I do something different than that? And then all of a sudden you're being affected by something that you had no intention on being affected by.
Right.
And that's the worst. And that's like losing your sense of direction while also like compromising your sense of self in like the most bare bones way.
And it also doesn't help that if you click on something on YouTube, then they remember what you watched and suggest other things just like it for you.
It's like the machine is like damn it, encouraging your behavior.
Damn it.
It really is. Even if your habits like you're trying to change the shit you're watching, YouTube's like, wait, what about this one though?
And Matt Pat, actually, Game Theory, right? That's his name. I'm saying that right. Fuck, man. Fuck me. He did an interesting video about what he called the fourth generation of YouTube. The first being like whatever, sneezing baby panda and chocolate rain, to then like Ryan Higa and people like that, where they're the first generation of YouTubers to like, start posting on a regular basis, on a regular schedule. And then the third generation, the explosion of the daily vloggers and the, that kind of thing. And then the fourth generation is the first generation that has grown up watching YouTube, so they already know how to manipulate the system and turn it into what they want it to be. And it's
like the first like actually ingenuine culture.
Well, to capitalize on it in a way to where the Logan Pauls, the Jake Pauls, they're creating this perfect funnel of cross promotion between everyone. The David Dobrik's, Liza Koshis, where you have an ensemble cast who all make their own videos that all coincide with each other and funnel back to each other. And then the more of them you watch, or like a series of videos where you need to watch them in a row in order to understand what's going on. And then the more of them that you watch, the more of them are recommended to you, creating a never ending funnel of like watch time, basically.
But it's crazy to think about, like, we are already living in the age where YouTubers are self-aware, in not the sense of like
our audience is aware.
Well, there
was a time where you couldn't talk about the fact that you even fucking made money, or like that was very taboo, and people didn't want to talk about it. People would ask you really rude questions about it or be really rude to you about it. Yeah. But now you see your audience or people watching your video, many of whom are creators themselves, because everything's democratized. Everyone is essentially creating and putting things out there, but they're aware of it and they call it out, and they're hypersensitive to it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And gone is the day where you can just like blatantly lie about having branded content or sponsored content, because the law is actually coming for people now. Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
Where it used to be, the literal Wild West, where companies would verbatim ask you to do things that are against the law. Yeah. But they're aware of that. Your audience is aware of that. Everyone's aware of that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is still a culture of distraction. The whole thing is a culture of distraction.
This whole conversation has been a culture of distraction.
We're competing with who can be the most distracting, in essence. Isn't that the most terrible thing in the world?
We can like clock out and go be distracted.
And then get upset by our distractions.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a terrible prison that is.
You know what?
I'm kidding.
Sometimes you just gotta get out of town. Throw a dart, get out of town. All right?
I know a lot of people are like, why don't you guys take a vacation and like shut off? I don't feel like I need to shut off because I'm really good about like not using my phone or like, not going on Twitter. I don't post. I mean, you guys know, I just don't post.
I know. I think though, like, I would love to go on go on a physical trip where I don't need to force myself to get off my phone. I can do that. Mm-hmm. It's more about just like taking a trip with the sole reason, like literally like don't even bring my gear. Like just go for the sole reason of like just chilling the fuck out.
And we've done that a couple times.
We have. It's really nice. It's been a really long time since we did a real good one of those. And I think a lot has changed in terms of like my workload and just everything that's going on. So I would really like that.
But I feel like one of the things that you realize as you get older is how valuable time is and how little of it there is.
Oh man, it's really crazy. It's crazy to feel like it's crazy to feel like it's like evening and 8, 9 p.m. and you still feel like you have a ton to do. Mm-hmm. And then you want to wake up early in the morning, but you also want to like play PUBG until like 4 a.m. It's like,
no, but I mean, just like things that you want to do in your life. And when you're young, you feel like you have your whole life to do it. And then
like in a general sense, like how much time you have.
Then you realize like how it's like time is incredibly valuable and how you spend it is incredibly valuable. Yeah. So it better be serving you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And something that would serve us or, a lot of people is probably just take a little weekend vacation. But like, for many people, myself included, you included, it's like, well, what weekend can I even do that?
I know, it's insane.
It sucks. Because your time is all wrapped up in other things.
Yeah. And it's good. It's good because like...
Of course it is.
Life is good and you're being busy is great and having a passion in it and doing something that you love for work is great. It is just so important though to remember the way bigger picture. Because at the end of the day, like... when all that goes away, you're on this earth for a finite amount of minutes. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Might as well be stressed out the whole time.
The whole time. Might as well have your SD card break mid-podcast. Every week.
That's never happened.
That actual problem hasn't happened to us. But this SD card has been a workhorse for like almost 2 years. But still, don't do that.
That's true.
Don't fucking do that SD card.
I know, but like, I wish an SD card had like, batteries, the ones where you can press both ends and it tells you how much battery is left.
Yeah.
You can press both ends of your SD card and it tells you how long it's going to be until it just fucking shits the bed.
Imagine if you did that and just snaps the SD card. How much? But it's like, the problem, I had formatted it so there was no footage, but then it filled up, which means, okay, it's fucked. Right. Like this card's broken. But hopefully you guys got something out of the podcast, even though it was kind of spliced into sections. And the first section had like a whole bunch of glitches, I think, on screen. I'm not sure.
Such a relaxing podcast.
This is one of those podcasts where I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on like the Hertz thing we were talking about. I'd love to hear any responses on that you guys feel passionate about. And also just, whatever you feel, chime in.
Or your dogs. I feel like I'm like... My mom knew ever since I was a little kid, in order for me to feel relaxed, I feel physically different when I'm around animals. That's why she would always let me have hamsters and stuff, even though she was allergic to cats and dogs. Yeah. This is my number one relax.
Animals are amazing. Oh, yeah, we were talking about, like, service dogs, and I forget, but...
Yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff.
You guys will never know what we talked about.
We spoke it into the air, so it's there.
Yep, the sound waves were here, guys.
If sound is sacred and you touch the air, you essentially heard our words and touched them and absorbed them. So.
Oh, this is our conversation from like 20 minutes ago?
Oh, nice.
That's Kermit's breath over there.
Oh, his nervous breathing.
Well, you guys have a great week. Thanks for hanging out with us for another episode. We'll see you guys next week on another podcast.
Love you, thanks, fam.
Bye.